Okay, folks, here we are in the Eeriearachnids Worldwide Tarantula Collection Tour. We are in the country of Colombia. One of the big mistakes people make with this is the actual spelling of Colombia. It is actually spelled C-O-L-O-M-B-I-A, not C-O-L-U-M-B-I-A. It's a common thing. I did it in the beginning too. So, yeah, if you guys have been spelling with a U, now you know that, oops, it's not a big deal. We've been spelling it wrong this whole time, so we'll just change that as we go. Now, there are two versions. There is a Colombia large, which is gross, or Colombia small, which is klein. I do know gross means big, I believe. So you can translate that to large if you wish from German. And klein, I'm not 100% sure if klein is actually just somebody's name, or if it is, if klein actually means small or little. I'm not 100% positive on that. So any of you people that are from Germany or know German, you can let me know down below what the actual meaning of those are, both gross and klein, translated from German, or what it means in German. Now, Klein, I believe, was a arachnologist from Germany, so I think that's where the Klein name comes from. But I don't know. So how do you tell them apart? Well, it's not all that difficult, really. I learned this, many years ago. Probably 4 or 5 years ago, I learned this pretty easily. So if you look at these patterns right here, I'll try to do this without my hand shaking so much. Right here, and right there. Why the hell did the screen move there? Anyway, you can see where the pumpkin patch thing came in. If you circle that, what does that look like? And what does that one look like right there? They look like pumpkins. Now you can see you have the pumpkin down below, and you have the stem that connects to the pumpkin up above. And you have the pumpkin here, and you have the stem that connects to the white, or the orange coloration up there. In a large, that's how they look. In a small, you don't have that stem. So you have orange pattern, black, orange pattern, black, orange pattern. So that's kind of the easiest way to distinguish which ones you have, unless, of course, you have them as mature. Because if you have them as mature, it's very, very easy to tell, because the Klein is considerably smaller than the gross. Females of the Klein, I believe, are 1.5 to 2 inches, and the gross are definitely right around the 4-inch mark, maybe a tad bit more, maybe a tad bit less, depending on your specific tarantula. Males generally are small, in the 1.5 to probably, I think the largest one I had was 2 inches, and he was really, really stretched out at 2 inches. So they are very leggy, they are very thin, and they are very weak tarantulas, the males, especially when they're smaller. Imagine something that's about 3.5 times your size, and you're laying under, or trying to get underneath it and lift it up. So, basically it's like jacking up a car with your hands laying underneath it. That's the difficulty of breeding these. Now, it's not extremely hard to do if you have a female that's willing. The problem is that a lot of the females aren't. They are man killers. They are definitely one of the highest rate man killing tarantulas out there that I've, in my experience, have come across, based on, I've never bred them, but based on what people have said. I think my friend Vlad, the one female I sent him, has chewed up 2 males, and his other female has chewed up a male too, without ever breeding. So they're not the easiest thing to do, but I'd like to give it a shot. If this one turns out to be female, I definitely will. If not, I'm not going to buy a female for him. I'll just send him out. I'm going to guess this is a female based on her molt patterns that mirrored pretty good to the female that I raised. Basically, how often she was molting versus the 2 males that I had. Again, all in the same conditions, because it's no different here now than it was a few years ago. What do you want to know, really? What's there to know? They like a little bit of heat. They are very tolerant of warmer temperatures, and they do like a little bit of moisture. You can see it's very dry in there right now. This needs to change, so we're going to really wet this down, and it may bring on a molt. You can see right now it's in a pre-molt. It's not eaten in, I think it was 31 days, if I remember looking at it earlier, 31 days. There was a couple of them that I looked at, but I think this one was 31 days. They are very voracious eaters, but they are lousy eaters when they're in pre-molt. They will fast for a little while, but I had one male that ate one day and molted the next, so you just never know sometimes. And he kind of caught me off guard because I didn't think his abdomen was very big at all. This one here is pretty big. It's 2.5 times the size of the carapace, and this is not from overfeeding. This is just because there's a lot of spider in there getting ready to come out. This is what they do. Temperatures, in the 80s, they'll be perfectly fine. 82, 86, 87, they'll probably be good. And I think they'll tolerate really, really warmer temperatures in the 90s as well, which we're going to experience here in Erie for the next, starting Thursday or Friday for about 5 or 6 days. All our high temperatures are going to be 92 degrees or higher. We may hit some triple digits. We have the possibility of breaking a July 4th record. I think the July 4th record was 97 degrees here in Erie, and they're projected right now to be 99 to 100. Now, here in Erie, when it's in the summertime like this, it's not just the heat, it's what if you know anything about the heat index, because of the humidity that we have, 90 degrees can feel like 120, and very, very stuffy, very, very thick, heavy air. So I have to be very careful. We're going to have to get another fan hooked up in here to really circulate air through here, because it'll get warm in this room. I don't air condition my bedroom. Again, I talked about that before with the asthma. It's just not good. So I have to tolerate the stifling heat. I may have to sleep out in the other room for a couple nights because I may not be able to sleep, period. And I expect to be back to work in a couple of weeks too, so I definitely need to make sure that if I do go back next week, I need to be sleeping, right? Which I don't think it'll be next week. I still have a little bit of pain. Got to get another shot. I'm expecting to be back between the 16th and the 23rd of July. Of course, right in the hottest time of the year. So yeah, that's really about it for this guy. Not much more to really go over. They're fast. Keep that in mind. They are very, very quick. So rehousings can be a little bit of a hassle. I've seen a lot of people handle them, which, I've seen a lot of people handle things that I would never handle, but this is definitely one of them that I wouldn't, not because of the venom level, but because of the flightiness of them. They are so flighty. They just want to take right off. So, yeah, if you have any more questions specific to this species at all, I'll leave the questions down below. Any of you guys from Germany can completely decipher what gross and klein actually means in your country, translated to English, so I can be right the next time when I talk about these. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and happy keeping.